Hey guys, I'm back with another flight review. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Delta Airlines Premium Select from Minneapolis to Haneda Airport in Japan. When I booked this flight, it was just the main cabin fare, but then Delta had an upgrade available for only $299 to go from Comfort Plus to Premium Select. Just an FYI, getting an upgrade this cheap on Delta is pretty rare, and in a 12+ hour flight, I think this deal is a no-brainer, so I took it. Note that when you do take this deal, you lose the ability to get Delta One offers, but in this case, I can't take the risk. So let's see, is this upgrade worth it? Last time I flew Premium Select, they were still dealing with some pandemic era cutbacks, which basically meant that it's economy grade everything from meals to service, and you only get the seat. Basically Delta's version of Spirit's big front seat. And it didn't look like that's going to be the case on this flight. The first benefit right off the bat is that right before this flight, I was able to visit the Delta Sky Club without using a day pass from my Delta Reserve card, since I was a Platinum Elite Medallion and on a premium cabin. I did a video on that lounge, link in the description, so please check that out. And here is the seat. Each row has 8 seats in a 2-4-2 configuration. It's a significant step up from economy seats for sure. Feels like it's just a little bit narrower than your typical domestic first class seat. Delta lists this as having 38 inches of pitch, while the domestic first class seats have 37, so it's right around the same. Seat controls here. In addition to the generous recline, you also have a leg rest and a footrest. There's also a remote control for the IFE, but I'm not sure anyone actually uses these. We have a pretty big entertainment screen here. We're going to check it out in more detail later on. Next up, we're going to look at some of the amenities. First up, you have the pillow. A little bit bigger than your typical economy class pillow. Feels more substantial. They give you a pair of slippers, same ones they give you on Delta One. And this one you can take home. The amenity bag here is a little bit smaller than the one that you would find on Delta One. We're going to look at the contents later as well. In this bag you had the blanket, and like the pillow, it just feels a little bit bigger, a little bit more comfortable. And here are more close-ups of the seat. I try to look in detail and nitpick the surfaces, trying to see if they're worn down. But everything here looks pretty fresh. On the seat we also have a printed menu. I think this little touch gives it more of a business class vibe. The main courses were available for pre-order a week prior to the flight, so you're gonna see the short rib in a bit. Now back to the seat back entertainment. On this channel my only point of comparison is with SAS. And compared to that, there are a lot more movies and TV shows here, so Delta is definitely superior in that regard. There are a few games as well, though if I wanted to game, I would rather just use my phone. Usually the best form of entertainment for me is watching the flight tracker, and Delta has a good one. They have a 3D map. One thing Delta's missing that the competitors have is the outside cameras. Those are fun to watch, especially during landing, but Delta doesn't have it. I was sitting in the middle, so no takeoff video for you. But shortly after takeoff, warm towel service started. I set up the table. The flight attendant then set up white cloth over it. I have a Coke with no ice. There. And can I also have a Woodford Reserve separately? No. Thank you. Myself, thank you. And then the first round of meal service began. To start, I got Coke and bourbon, as well as some cheese crackers. So a small snack to start.
Wine, champagne, or anything? Wine, champagne, or anything, ma'am? Wine? No? Would you like wine, champagne, or anything?
No, thanks.
No? Thank you.
And right after that, the main course. Like I pointed out earlier, this is the Asian braised beef short rib. This is really good. Presentation is like in a domestic first class. Everything in one tray, which I don't mind. The little pretzel that came with it, as well as the dessert, they're all good. As I was finishing up the meal, the attendants were also offering coffee or tea, which I passed. But after this, I checked out the lavatory. The attendants were letting us use the forward lavatory, which I think is reserved for Delta 1 usually, but they didn't enforce that. But inside, nothing special. All I can say that it's been pretty clean the few times I went there, and that's good enough for me. I guess I didn't detail it earlier, but they do provide noise cancelling headphones. Long story short, it was pretty good. I was able to watch an entire movie. I also looked at the amenity kit. The contents are pretty light. You get toothpaste, toothbrush, earplugs, and eye mask. That's it. And after all that, it's time to sleep. See you in a bit. I actually ended up only sleeping around 3 hours. I was woken up by the flight attendants during the mid-flight service. I think they served cookies if I remember correctly. I tried to sleep past this commotion, but it didn't work. Also, I was super excited for this trip, so that's probably more on me. Anyways, I got ready for the pre-arrival meal as the attendants again prepared the cabin. No pre-order for this one, so I went ahead with a chicken and rice meal. And I don't know if I was remembering differently, but I think I liked this more than the dinner. The fruit plate was really good as well. Anyways, right after I struggled with the chopsticks, I opted for more coffee, and on the last passenger service, they handed out chocolate. And with that, around 45 minutes later, we landed. So, final thoughts. Like I said in my SAS business class review, it's always a privilege for me to fly in premium cabins, so of course I enjoyed this flight. It's also a full-on premium experience now. The last time I flew Premium Select, everything else was main cabin stuff, except for the seat. Still, I wouldn't pay double the main cabin fare for this flight, but when I do come across an upgrade offer for $250, $300, $400, I'll have to think about it. And that is it for my review. If you guys like this type of content, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys. Peace.